All right. Another week has gone by. I got a new Christmas shirt. And I got a mug for the occasion. Today we're sipping on chamomile tea. And you may be wondering, who the heck is she? My name is Dara, and I love Hallmark movies. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here. And Hallmark is doing their countdown to Christmas. Ooh, I got some good ones for y'all this week. We had 2 new movies that premiered over the weekend. One Royal Holiday starring Aaron Tveit and, let me get my notes, Laura Osnes. And then we had the 12th Date of Christmas that premiered on Sunday, featuring Mallory Jansen and Tyler Hynes. I'm hyped. Cause did y'all see last week's recording? Did y'all see what I did last week? Did y'all hear what I said with the lack of chemistry? I think Hallmark heard me, even though I know they already did these videos. But I think they heard me because this week they did the doggone thing. Let's start off with One Royal Holiday. Cheers. So, One Royal Holiday, as I said, starring Aaron Tveit and Laura Osnes, is the story of a prince and a queen who's in town. And by town, I mean Boston. And by Boston, I mean America. They're in America because they're from some obscure European country that, all just happens to have a British accent. You know how Hallmark does. So they are the Prince and Queen of Goldwick, and the king has recently passed, and he was taken care of in America, and they come to America to thank the men and women of the hospital who took care of the king. And so on their way back to, I forget exactly where they're going to catch their plane, but on their way back to try to catch their plane, they get derailed. Because there's snow, there's ice, and there's no hotels for them to stay at. So they stop at a donut shop, and they bump into this girl named Anna, played by Laura Osnes. And she's, this kind of spunky, funky, outgoing girl. And she's actually on her way back to her father's inn in Kingsbury, Connecticut. And she offers to take them unbeknownst to her. Let's see how many times throughout this series I say unbeknownst. Unbeknownst to her, she doesn't know that they're the king. That they're the queen and prince when she picks them up. She just thinks they're foreigners in the land for the first time, celebrating Christmas, blah, 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 blah. So she offers to take them to her dad's inn for them to stay at. And then it is revealed once they meet her father that they are the queen and prince. And then she finds out. She's like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? And the prince, here's what I have to say. So the overall tension, which I'll call it, gave me Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet vibes. To all of my Pride and Prejudice fans, what's up? But I got Bennett and Darcy vibes from them. Prince James is his name, was very stiff, like a board, like this table here. He was stiff. He was asking for pillow menus and room service, and this is an inn, so inns don't do any of that. It's very much familial and cozy type of accommodations. But the queen, she was so cool. She was just so excited to be in America, to experience a different type of Christmas because they're royals. They normally don't do anything for themselves. So the different traditions that Anna takes the prince and the queen through, you can just see and hear the queen's excitement throughout it all. And first of all, Aaron, 2 points for that British accent. At first I was like, all right, we're doing an accent now. But he did it because my friends who aren't familiar with him as an actor asked if he's really British. And I was like, no, he isn't. So you did your doggone thing, Aaron. I thoroughly enjoyed how they built up Anna and Prince James' relationship. It gave me all the royal vibes. The castle that they used, made me want to blue skidoo right into the TV. I loved it. I loved it. The ending was a little... I'm not gonna lie. The ending was a little bit... It felt like... It just felt fantastical, you know? Like, I've loved you and I've missed you my whole... Like, that kind of thing. And I wasn't feeling the ending so much. But I loved that they concluded the movie with a waltz. Who doesn't love a good old waltz? And the Christmas waltz is one of my favorite non-worship Christmas songs. My favorite worship Christmas songs, without a doubt. O Come, Emmanuel. O Holy Night. And I would say God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. And then my favorite non-worship Christmas songs. The Christmas Waltz. My Favorite Things. Deck the Halls. At least music so... No, Hark the Herald. That's... I substitute God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen with Hark the Herald. But I love me a music soul child. Deck the Halls. Hello? Have you heard that album? You need to get it. Stop sleeping. Get music. And music is spelled with a Q. Because he's different. And he's from Philly. Shout out. But I digress. So, One Royal Holiday, I give it 3 crowns. And it's funny because right after I saw it, I was like, oh, this is a 4-crown movie. But then, I'm sorry, I'm clapping, y'all. Let me just sip on that. Nope, I just burned my tongue. Okay, so Sunday at 8, we are presented with the 12th date of Christmas. And I'm not going to lie. From first looks, I was like, oh, this going to be corny. Like, oh, how wrong I was. And I'm so glad that I was wrong. So the 12th Date of Christmas, as I said before, stars Mallory Jansen and Tyler Hines. And so we are now taken out of this kind of small town, because a lot of the movies up until this point took place in small towns. Now we are thrusted into the big windy city that is Chicago. But they still included the small town charm because the main character, Jessica, who I don't believe we've given the knowledge of knowing her last name, as with most Hallmark movies, but you know, we ain't here for the last name, we here for the first name. But Jessica moved to Chicago about 1.5 years ago in Movie Time Land from Iowa, and she's kind of trying to get used to, like, not used to, but kind of still find her place within the big city. And we are in a workplace. So we are in a game creation company. She is one of the game creators along with the male lead, Aiden Walsh. So, Aiden is probably the coolest male character that I've seen so far. He was sarcastic and punchy. And at points he made you want to dislike him, but it's like you saw him at work, and he was a grump, a Scrooge at work. But when you see him with his sister and his niece, he's like this like lovable guy, and it's so funny. So it pairs together someone who is bubbly and excited, but yet so scared to speak up for herself, paired to this guy who is like very introverted, and he doesn't like working with people, but yet he's so outspoken. So like I loved the contrast of the characters. And that's where I think the chemistry shined for these two characters, was in the contrast. So here's the nature of the movie, right? So they are creating a game for a marketing, campaign for a hotel. So they're creating a scavenger hunt. And it is a scavenger hunt around the city of Chicago that celebrates the different neighborhoods of Chicago. And it is also supposed to get couples out there. It's called the 12 Dates of Christmas. And so with each clue, you're sent to a different place in the city where you can, have it's a good place for a date. And so as they're creating this game, of course, they're actually doing these things, and throughout the course of them doing these things, they both like open each other up in a way that we didn't see before. Like the character growth is great. Guys, I really like this movie. I like the big city hustle and bustle. I loved the woman Mallory Jansen. You did your thing. Like I loved how she played that character. You can tell when she was putting on a brave face, but she was really like sad and really didn't, agree with whoever was talking to her, what they said. Like I love that she loved to bake, and that was kind of a thing we got to learn from her. And again, Aiden's character, I just loved how quick-witted he is and petty he was. Like I just loved everything about this movie, and I'm giving this movie 4 crowns. 4 crowns. We haven't established a rating system. Y'all help me establish a rating system. If something is spectacular, how many crowns are we going to give it? And we give it crowns because that's Hallmark's logo, like Crown Media Production, right? That's why we're giving crowns. Oh, it's cooling down. Amen. So, y'all, I'm like, Hallmark, thank you. Because I was nervous with the first 2 movies, man. I was nervous. But now I'm in it to win it. So the next 2 movies we have coming up this weekend, we have Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater, premiering Saturday night at 8. And then we have Christmas with the Darlings, premiering Sunday at 8. So y'all, yes, that's going to conclude my review for this week's movies. My name is Dara. Welcome to, again, thank you for joining me, and welcome to the space where we nerd out on Hallmark movies. Sincerely, Dara. P.S. What did you think about this week's selection of movies? Were you into it? Did you really like Aiden? Was he just, like my friends called him, a jerk? I don't think he was that much of a jerk. I don't know. But, and was the prince, do you think he really, like, did he give you Darcy vibes like he gave me Darcy vibes? Go check it out. I will see you guys next week. I done forgot. I can't believe I forgot this. The wardrobe in One Royal Holiday? Are you kidding me? Emmys, Oscars, Tonys, Grammys. They need them all. They need to be EGOTs. That wardrobe department killed it. Killed it. The suits were spectacular. Spectacular. Loved it. And the women's wear, like what the Queen wore, what the mayor wore, and I say the mayor because they had an African American woman mayor. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I forgot to tell you guys about that. But it's a big deal. Those suits were so detailed, specific, and beautiful. The cut, the tailoring, and I appreciate this little backstory. I used to work at a retailer who sold men's clothes, and it was a bit intimidating because I knew nothing of menswear, but they gave me this booklet in the beginning that kind of detailed the different parts of men's suits and different things like that. So I learned the language a little bit. Some of it I've lost. I ain't gonna lie. It's been about 8 years, but I appreciate it. It grew an appreciation of menswear for me because I saw the contrast in how classy and refined it seemed to be that menswear was, whereas the women's wear was kind of, excuse me, a little bit over sexualized in terms of like how short and tight things are. But baby, when I tell you, yo, it brought all that back up. I'm like, I think that's why I gave it 4 crowns initially too, because of the wardrobe. That wardrobe was sick, fam. The pinstripes on the suits, the polka dots on the tie, the details in the pocket square. I saw it all, Hallmark. I saw it all. Nothing was missed by me. Nothing was missed by me. Y'all, if you don't even like the story, just watch it for the clothes. I know that's horrible, but for that alone, wardrobe deserves its own crown, which is probably where the 4 came from. You know what I'm saying? You got the 3 for the story, 1 for the wardrobe. Family. It was dope. I'm sorry. All right, for real, I'm gonna get out y'all face.